Hey folks, for this week's Vintage Baseball Card of the Week, I've got the 1975 Topps number 650 Dave May with the Atlanta Braves. You can see the airbrush design of the cap right there. Now before I get into why I selected this card, I want to tell you a little bit about Dave May and his career. He started with the Baltimore Orioles in 1967 and played with them through 1970. He really wasn't able to distinguish himself very much with the Orioles because the team was so talented he just couldn't really break into the lineup. His big highlight with the Orioles was appearing in the 1969 World Series against the Mets. He actually had one at bat in Game 3 against Gary Gentry.
Nolan Ryan getting up to throw again in the Met bullpen. And here goes, and he walked him. Fourth walk issued by Gentry.
He was traded to the Milwaukee Brewers their initial season in June 1970. His career there was really up and down. In 1970-71, he did pretty good, but then he slumped in 1972. In 1973, he really had a career year. He played in the All-Star game in Kansas City, he finished 8th in the MVP voting, and he had a .303 average with 25 home runs and 93 RBIs. But in 1974, Dave May slumped again. He finished with a .226 average, which pretty much made him expendable with the Brewers. Now this is where his main claim to fame comes in. If you flip Dave May's card over to the back, you'll see that he will always be remembered as the player traded for Hank Aaron on November 2nd, 1974. 45 years ago this month was the famous trade that brought Hank Aaron from the Braves to the Milwaukee Brewers to finish out his career. And Dave May was the player that he was traded for. There was a player to be named later, and that was Roger Alexander, a minor league player who actually never made it to the major leagues. At the conclusion of the 1974 season, Aaron had been unhappy with Braves management, and he wanted a career in the front office after he retired. Braves management wouldn't give him that, so he was looking to get traded. He was actually looking to extend his career a little bit in the American League where he could DH. So the Braves put out some feelers and got a bite from Milwaukee with Bud Selig, and Hank Aaron was happy to go to Milwaukee to finish his career where he started his career and did really well and enjoyed playing. After being traded for Hank Aaron, Dave May was pretty much a platoon player with the Braves in 1975. Later on he was traded to the Rangers, and then he was sold back to the Brewers, and then sold again to the Pirates. His last game was on September 1st, 1978. He went to spring training with the Phillies in 1979, but was cut before the season started. The remainder of his career just never really got much traction and wasn't really that strong of a player. He ended up getting platooned a lot. After baseball, May had a series of jobs in the minor leagues as a roving hitting instructor, and he sold furniture. His son, Derek May, played in the major leagues himself. He played between 1990 and 1995, mostly with the Cubs. Well, here's Dave May's other claim to fame. His baseball glove is in the Baseball Hall of Fame at Cooperstown. Now his glove is in the Hall of Fame because of a trade he did with Brooks Robinson. Brooks Robinson loved to trade for gloves from other players. He loved gloves that were broken in, and Dave May had a glove that he wanted. So May asked for 5 pairs of spikes and 2 gloves in return, and Brooks made the deal. And Brooks Robinson used this glove in the 1970 World Series, one he became famous for. Dave May died in 2012 at the age of 68. He had been in ill health for many years before. Well, that's it for Dave May. He had quite an interesting career and a mark on the game of baseball. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, thoughts, post them below. I'll see you next week with a new video, and collect what you love.